But listen, I mean, that aside, her vocals, she's killing it.
I am the War Chief.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. We're in session once again for another Hololive reaction, and this time I have something that was recommended by our friend Hercules Vinicius again. Thank you for your recommendation. I know you suggested this quite a while back, but you know, with everything that got busy, I only got to doing this recommendation now. So here it is. The song he recommended was Marine's cover of Yona Yona Yona. And I have listened to this song in the past. Like, I think around the time it came out, I gave it a quick listen. I never really sat down and broke down the lyrics. And the art style definitely stood out to me, and I could tell that it was a depressing song. But what kind of understanding are we going to get from really breaking down the lyrics? Well, let's go and check it out, shall we? Here we go. If I'm not mistaken, this cover showed up on the top 50 list around the time it came out. I think it was only on the list for about a week or two before it kind of faded off. You can see that this was in April 2021. That's around the time it was posted. And it has 600K views on it. So it's something that went under the radar. This song is something striking, to be sure. It's been a while since I last listened to this song, and this time we're really going to do we're also going to have a deep dive of the lyrics, as we usually do. So we'll do a quick pass, and you know how it goes from there. Here we go. Yikes. There's something so unsettling about that art style. The distortion and the dissonance happening in the art is what's really screaming out to me. Doesn't it feel like a witch sequence from Madoka Magica? Oh my god. But listen, I mean, that aside, her vocals, she's killing it. There's a lot of shifting happening here between head voice and chest voice. When you hear the tempo and the way she sings it, like there's a little bit of repetition, there's droning, there's a lot of unsettling elements to it. The fact that everything is almost covered by this blurry filter pushes how unsettling it is. While it's not as crazy as the visuals in a song like Love Me, Love Me, you know, the one that Izuru covered, or the Love Ka by that Louis covered. Oh, see, the psychedelic patterns, this is very Madoka. Despite what this song represents, ooh, yeah, that's one thing that a lot of people don't mention when they bring up Marine in conversation. Of course, they bring up the memes, you know, how she's yabai, how she's all this and that. She's also a good artist. But I don't usually hear a lot of people say how good of a vocalist she is. Yeah, you can hear those shifts constantly coming in and out. Oh, I don't know, the minimalist art style is almost more unsettling than if it was fully rendered, wasn't it? Yikes. Oh, god. Very unsettling. And you forget that it's actually under 3 minutes. So it's actually a rather quick cover. Just like that, it's over, right? It almost like we were all in a trance. I was just talking about the art style and her vocals. Suddenly it's over. Wow. Okay. So let me just load up my lyric sheet. I know some of you are here only for a quick pass, and I appreciate you guys all the same. Thank you for dropping by. For those of you who are here for the lyric breakdown, I'm gonna get to that. Let me just open a separate lyric sheet. Unfortunately, this is one of those songs that doesn't have lyrics in the CCs, so I had to go and find myself a translation, which is a little tougher for this song than I would have hoped. But I did manage to find one anyway. Let's go. All right, I have a lyric sheet open here, and I gotta say, just having a quick glance of this is already kind of disturbing because of all the repeated words. Yikes. Here we go. Yikes. The simplicity of it. Predicting your fate and the traffic weight and the weather state. I've got a bad feeling. Play along with her, or along with him, or along with them. I've got a bad feeling. Okay, pause. So just with those alone, she mentions 3 different things, and then I've got a bad feeling. 3 different things, then I've got a bad feeling. But whenever she says that lyric that goes, I have a bad feeling, you get this distorted artwork with this word, which I assume is what she's saying. Moya na kanji. Yeah, that one. And then, yeah, all of the lyrics, yeah, they're hard-coded in the MV, but yikes. Well, if you hurt others, then it follows that you'll get hurt too. Oh, what a scary thought. Time out. Yoruna, when she goes to that point, that's the chorus for sure. But so far, we have predicting your fate, the traffic weight, you got a bad feeling. It's just a lingering sense of dread. And if you hurt others, then it follows that you'll get hurt too. What a scary thought. It's kind of like the concept of karma, isn't it? Do good things happen to you. Do bad things, they'll come back to haunt you. And at the base level, that's what it seems like it's trying to say. But when we hit the chorus, fill the night to the brim and make it burst at the seams. Fill the night to the brim and make it burst with this self-hatred. Hansebun means reflection. In the words I give to you. A reflection on what? And what words did she give us? The words she gave us were all about having a bad feeling and saying something karmic. Oops. And she just mentions the bad feeling. Oh, that's a scary thought. Fill the night to the brim and make it burst at the seams. But you fill it to the brim with what? Then you just reflection. In the words I give to you. Yeesh. Okay, let's continue. Cutting down on costs, managing loss, and the double cross. Your inheritance. This inheritance is just so hard to deal with. Transition. Well, since you fought, you should follow with a sorry to fix it. Such a lazy thought. Before we jump into the next chorus, this time it's not just bad feelings. This one is more like it's hard to deal with, or like you'd rather not deal with it. This one is more about money, cutting down costs, managing loss. But then a double cross. your inheritance, my inheritance, this inheritance is just so hard to deal with. So here's the thing. Whenever you mention an inheritance, that usually comes from, it usually stems as a result of someone dying and leaving their inheritance to you, Like there was a big sum of money that was left to you and that becomes your inheritance. You usually get that, at the death of someone. Then you were saying, but before that, she was saying like cutting down on costs, managing loss, and the double cross. It's hard to deal with. So, did something go wrong with that inheritance? Possibly something crazy was written in the will or it wasn't clear enough. And now, maybe you were burdened with more than what you thought. Initially, maybe it would just have been money, but now you also have other problems that you could possibly be dealing with, and it's also hard to deal with. And, looking at this, it's more like, money is a very basic thing that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't want to deal with it, it can be a little problematic. So that just tells me that at the most basic function, you're already very troubled and you'd rather not deal with it. It's hard to deal with, and it's like, ugh, yikes. So I can see the depressive themes here, but the thing is with this one, it's not as, how do you say, outright or obvious as some of the other songs with depressing undertones that we've listened to. This one is more subtle with how it expresses its thoughts. Let's go on to the next chorus. Work the night to the brink, pack it tight to the seams. Work it to the brink and pack it tight with his self-loathing. Kansobun, it's contemplation. It's contemplate. Contemplate and wait for a reply. That artwork, though. There's something to be said about this particular artwork. About the psychedelic, almost kaleidoscopic patterns that happen. Because I feel like this is a good representation of, your mental state in when you have these kinds of thoughts. It's, there's nothing here that's perfectly square. Everything's angular, jagged, nothing seems perfectly aligned. It's all out of whack. And I think that's what this art is trying to say here. It's a good visualization of the thought process of someone going through this. Very good vocals. Contemplate. Kansobun. All about filling the night to the brim and making it burst, packing it tight to the seams. But what really bothers me? What really bothers me about the repetition of the words. Yeah. See how much more distorted it is now? Like her mental state is getting worse and worse as the song progresses. Okay. Now, what really bothers me about that, the point about the words constantly repeating, reflection, contemplate. It's like, oops, sorry, that was my lyric sheet. But with those words just constantly being mentioned, the scary thing is that it's almost coming off like a pointless reflection, like a pointless contemplation. Like it's just thought for the sake of thought, but it's not clear what you're even reflecting on. It's not clear what you're contemplating on. But isn't that one of the big symptoms of a depressive state of mind, with reflection and contemplation, all that stuff? But it doesn't seem like you're heading anywhere. You're kind of stuck in place. It's just reflection for the sake of reflection. And that's being portrayed by the repetition of the words, which then tells me that you're kind of stuck in place and you don't know how to get out of it. You're stuck in a rut and you don't know how to go further than that. And I think that part, after the way she says, Han seven, Han seven, and then when you go to that droning note afterwards, it's almost like a sigh but in song form, instead of going right. It's that in song form, but that's what it represents to me. You're just stuck in place, frustrated. There's no context, there's no rhyme or reason to what you're doing necessarily. And you could see in in the with the way the song is structured, you had some thoughts being portrayed in the verses first, like predicting your fate, traffic weight, the weather state, and then you play along with them, all the stuff. You may have a bad feeling, and then you're mentioning about inheritance, about money, stuff like that. But by after the second verse, it's all just repetition upon repetition upon repetition of the chorus. But what the chorus says is just essentially repetition. And the tone, the way it's written, like I said, the tempo is very constant. The words sound very droning. I think this is something. There's a figure of speech being hidden and represented by the audio in of itself. And I just noticed right here with this artwork, look at the optical illusion happening here. I know these are letters, right? But look, the tops of these letters look like arrows, don't they? And these two arrows in particular almost look like they're stemming out of Marine's head. Notice also that there's no line break here. There's no line that cuts it off here at the end. So it's really made to look like it's coming out of, your head. Meaning this is probably another representation, more visual, of your mental state. Whew. No wonder this was recommended to me by Hercules. Because there's so much to break down here just by the art style, all these little hidden tidbits and moments. And there's surprisingly a lot to unpack for a song that has so much repetition in the lyrics. Ooh. Damn. I think that pretty much sums it up. Okay, you guys. I think that's all I have to say about this for now. Let me give you some closing thoughts, and we'll get out of here. All right. Once again, a big thank you and a shout out to Hercules Vinicius for recommending us to check this song out. I can see why you wanted me to do a breakdown of the lyrics of this song, because yikes! Oh, the Japanese and their penchant for these songs. Very thought provoking, very depressive at the same time. And they're so outright. They tend to be outright depressing. Like you can tell, even if you don't speak the language, just seeing the violence of the representation and the art style, like the distortions, all this craziness that's going on. you can already tell that there's something wrong with that song, or rather, there's something off in what it's trying to convey. You get what I mean, I hope. Whew. Well, this is why we do these recommendations. I'm sorry I only got to it now. You can imagine the holidays got really busy with all those releases, but I think we're somewhat caught up at this point. So I'll be getting to some of the other recommendations that some of you guys have sent in through the comments. What else? Is there anything I have to announce? Well, the Discord server is coming up soon, and I'll make a community post and maybe a quick announcement video for that. Right? So I'd say that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought. If you have your own interpretation of the lyrics, please feel free to let me know. I love it when we have discussions in the comments. I love this little community that we've fostered here. And please remember to like and subscribe. And with that, I'd say our session is adjourned. Everybody, please take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. This is Senator War Chief signing out. Bye-bye.